GM, it's Chris. We got the coffee in the hand and we got the pen in the other, so we are ready to roll. Now, as a copywriter, I've seen that there are a few problems that people, both local businesses but also online coaches and consultants, struggle with. And I think this video might give you a breakthrough in your conversions and in your sales if this is something that you struggle with. And that is essentially having a good intro offer, like an easy next step for people to take. Now, a real example of this is that I was working with a local business, one of my clients, and we had everything set up from the ads, which were running from the Google and the Meta, to a solid landing page. We tracked the conversions to see how people, behave on the website, what they click on, if they check out or not. And although that was all in good place, the thing that was missing here was to essentially come up with a novel idea or a novel perspective of an offer that the target market, the market in the area, has not seen yet, right? That was a really important piece of the entire puzzle. And once we came up with a new, fresh angle that the market hadn't really seen yet, that is where sales started to take off and they started to get a lot more interest in their service, in their products. And people are like, what is this? Blah, blah, blah. And from there, since it was an easier next step for people to take as well, it was very much easy for this client of mine to upsell them to more expensive services. And that's usually how it goes. So if you have some kind of service-based business, it might be just an online coach or consultant as well. I work with those people as well to help them to refine, their offers, their marketing angle, their strategy, and the copy as well, because I'm a copywriter. Then I will urge you to not just look at what you do and the assets that you have right now, which probably might need a refresh as well, but looking at the angle of your offer. Like, what is the big idea here for your offer? Is it somehow differentiating yourself from the other people who are perhaps offering the same thing? Especially, I would say online as well. It's even more important to really think about your unique value proposition. Like, why will someone pick your offer or your service or your coaching over someone else? And kind of like, what makes you unique? What new stuff are you bringing to the table? That's why I believe that having enough space in your life or in your mind to think about novel offers, new perspectives to something old. That is where you can wake up the market that you are serving and offering them an easy next step. So for my client, which I was working with, this made pretty much all the difference for them in order to drive more traffic, more interest. And the thing is that offers can also expire and people become a little bit banner blind to the offers. If you have seen something, you're like, yeah, no, whatever. You might tune out or stuff like that. So coming with frequent ideas and angles to sell a service is really important. I'm working with another client of mine and I was brainstorming some new ideas for them. The thing with that is, for them at least, is that they have pretty strict offers in the health niche. So it's really hard for them. It's a health professional, so to say. And it's really hard for them to kind of like just slap on a new kind of offer. But I will pretty much urge anyone who is watching this, if you're a business owner, you have a service or you have a product or something like that, to try to think a little bit outside the box and try to see what is it that actually people might want, right? It's really important. Can you combine certain things? Can you shred something from an offer that you have and take a smaller piece of that and offer it to the market, your target customer, in a new and fresh way? Because if you do that, it might give you the traction that you need instead of offering a big thing up front. That's also a key insight. So instead of offering the big thing and getting a big payment or a long treatment or a big commitment from people, you probably know that it's quite logical to just compress it and take a smaller chunk of it, a smaller piece of whatever you are selling, and offering that as a light first step for people. It makes all the difference. And by doing so, you can also keep your offerings for the market fresh, right? Because if you have a big thing, a big offer, a big service, then taking bits and pieces of that and see what the market resonates with, what they take, what they like, what they buy, that might be a good indicator of like what they actually want, right? And it's not always the case that business owners and coaches, consultants know what the market wants. And that's why more rapid testing is key in order to get traction for your services. We launched for another client of mine a kind of like a big course, which she had put together for quite a while. And in her mind, she was like, oh, people will definitely buy this. They need this. We launched it. Everything was good and dandy. We had a beautiful landing page, and it was made to show everyone that why this is important, what they get, like how this changes their life, right? Just basic copywriting stuff. But it was not selling. It was just like one, two, or three sales here and there, which is fine. So she made an ROI, return on her investment. But this angle of the offer was something that people didn't really resonate with or they didn't really want, right? And she had spent a lot of time creating this offer. I think it was since May. So May, April. So it was a few months up until now, right? To really put this off. And it's like a classic mistake of building something and then selling instead of doing the reverse of selling first and then building as you go. So sell before build is the takeaway here, because you want to test different offers, novel ideas to see what they react to, what they want. And you can't really do that if you build a huge, big mega product and try to sell it. And then once they do not want it, then you get all discouraged and sad and unhappy with yourself. And oh, you spent so much time creating this mega product, but people didn't really want it, right? It's usually not the marketing or the sales of it, because you usually get some traction even if it's bad. But you can't really change the desire in the market. The market has a desire. You can't tell them to have a different desire. It doesn't work like that in copywriting and in human psychology in general, right? So give the market what they want. Sell small chunks of it first. That is where I will look into tailoring or adjusting your marketing strategy a bit and see what sells. So yeah, that is the main insights and tips I have for you. If you need any help with any of the marketing strategy, the copywriting, the building the assets and stuff like that, just I have a link below if you want to work with me, and we can have a chat in the DMs and see if we are a fit. But yeah, take this with you. Look into what people want, try smaller stuff, create new novel ideas, a big idea, a fresh perspective of stuff, and for God's sake, sell something before you build it. Otherwise, you just risk creating a lot of stuff for people. And that's for all of the, I don't know if any newbies will watch this, any new entrepreneurs into the space, but they might also be stuck in this thing that they will try to sit and think about what people want and brainstorm what people want and build stuff before launching or ever getting to the market, instead of just like going straight up to Susan on the street, who perhaps is someone you serve, and like, hey Susan, what do you want? What do you want for lunch? If she knows what, if she tells you what she wants, then you can like, okay, here's what you want, do you want me to help, right? It's a very simple, effective way to flip the order of how you sell to the market. Or if you're already established a local business, then just trying different offers, different angles in your ads, in your meta ads as well. And that is a great indicator and a quick feedback to know, is this thing working? Is people jumping on this angle, or are they jumping on that angle? Aha, interesting. So they clicked more on this and resonated. Do we have something here? Can we expand it into separate product tier in our service? That's what we did with my first client that I talked about, which worked really well. And this client of mine is the only client in this entire area that he's serving who has this unique new offer. And people actually love it because it's cheaper, takes less time, and it's a natural upgrade, a natural next step for people to take. And he gets to show off his skills, his value, builds trust as well, because building trust and belief, anything that is new can be scary, but it's also exciting. All right, enough ramble. I hope this was helpful, and see you in the next video. Bye.